What happens when family turns fatal? Murder for hire. Today I'm covering the trial of Donna Adelson that was recently convicted. Her trial just recently happened. I think it was last week. Donna Adelson is the Florida grandmother convicted of masterminding the death of her son-in-law, soon to be ex-son-in-law. Her daughter was going through a divorce, and this was in 2014. His name was Dan Markel. He was a law professor. There was family feuds going on, custody battles, a web of lies that ended up with Dan Markel dead at the age of 41. 5 people have now been convicted, including Donna's son, her own son, and some close associates were also convicted. And this happened all about a custody dispute, spiraled into a contract killing. And what does that mean with the family that's left behind? What does that mean for them? So welcome to Crime Diaries. I'm glad you're joining me today. This is for educational purposes only, and I'm always glad that you join me for these cases as I cover them week by week. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe. So first we'll go over Daniel. Who was Daniel Markel? He was the victim, 41 years old at the time of his death. He was a Canadian-born Florida state lawman. He was an author and prominent legal supporter, and he was married to fellow FSU professor Wendy Adelson. They had 2 sons, but they separated in 2012, and the battle became very ugly, extremely bitter in 2013. The day of his murder, Markel, he pulled into his garage after he had been running some errands. And as he was getting out of his car, 2 people came up. This is July 18, 2014, came up to his car, shot him in the head twice, and he died the next day. So that investigation has been ongoing for 10 years before anyone's convicted. There's been wiretapping, testimony. Prosecutors have said that Markel's killing was the result of a murder for hire plot involving Donna Adelson as the main person that put this all together, her son Charlie, Charlie's girlfriend at the time, her name was Catherine, and a hitman from the Latin Kings gang leader, Luis Rivera, and Sigfredo Garcia, who was also the father of Catherine's children, the one that was dating Donna Adelson's son at the time. Why was Dan Markel murdered? It was testified that Rivera and Garcia received $100,000 in the murder to hire plot. They received the money in stacks of stapled $100 bills the next day, and they split it with Catherine. In Charlie Adelson's trial, prosecutors said that Markel's murder is the desperate desire of the Adelson family for Wendy and her 2 sons. They wanted Wendy and her 2 sons freedom to move to South Florida to be near her family. According to court filings, Markel had won 50-50 custody and prohibited Adelson from moving them away. The parents had been battling in court for months over every detail of their children's lives. Markel also filed a claim stating that Adelson had misrepresented her financial assets, this is Wendy, and had taken a 2-carat diamond ring that belonged to Markel's great aunt from the Holocaust survivor, that she was a Holocaust survivor, and taken that ring. He also filed a motion to prevent the children's grandmother, Donna, from having any time unsupervised with them because she had been making demeaning remarks about him to his children. Another thing that had came up in court is after he had passed, Markel, the boys' names were changed. Wendy had them changed from his last name back to her. His son went to court first and was tried, and also the assailants that actually pulled the trigger, and Catherine, her son's girlfriend at the time. Then Donna went. So Donna had spoke to her son while he was in jail, and she had mentioned that she was getting things in order for her family. She even had mentioned to a U.S. country that was extradited, so she could not be extradited, that didn't have extradition treaty. Investigators said in her arrest report that she had considerable financial resources to make the fleeing to another country possible. Donna Adelson was nabbed by the FBI on the way to board a flight to Vietnam before charges were even filed against her in the murder of Dan Markel. They called her the FBI, trying to flee with her husband. Her husband, Harvey Adelson, was trying to leave with her, according to court documents. Harvey Adelson was a dentist and founder of the Adelson Institute of Anesthetics and Implant Dentistry. The net worth was possibly between 10 to 20 million. So the Adelson family had funds. They all had significant amounts of money in their bank accounts, even at the time of Dan Markel's murder. So they did have the possibility for funding the hit for hire or hire for hit. They had the money for the hire for hit and to also escape the country. Wendy has not been prosecuted. She went on the stand for partial immunity, and she said she has had no connection with this, so we'll see how that goes. But we do have the breakdown of the people that were involved, and we have what they received. And Donna's, when she was received her life in prison sentence, she screamed out. The judge had to tell her to get herself in control. He sent the jury out for a few moments and told her that she would have to get herself under control or she would be removed. So after she calmed down, he brought them back in to finish her sentencing. She will actually go back in October for her actual conviction sentencing in October. All of the Adelsons hired their own lawyers. They funded this. Donna, Harvey, Charlie, and Wendy. They all had separate lawyers that they had funded during the trial. It is unknown if the Markel's family will file a wrongful death suit against the Adelsons. Under the Florida law, the state has statute of limitations for a wrongful death lawsuit, which is 2 years, unless it's proven certain situations, which is including murder, in which you may do that at any time if it's murder. Know what you think of this trial if you have watched this in this case. Do you think Wendy knew about what was going to happen? Do you think she had a part of this? Are they covering her so that she can be with her boys? And that was the whole reason this plot, murder for hire, had begun, was for her to have the boys to move with the family. Do you think they're protecting her and that she is in with it? I just don't see how she didn't know about anything. The whole family, well, the dad has not been convicted of anything yet, but the whole family almost was involved in this, so we'll have to see if charges are brought out on Wendy and Harvey the dad. We'll have to see if there's a wrongful death suit that comes about from this. Let me know your thoughts on this. And as always, I'm glad you joined. Thank you. Please hit like and subscribe for my Crime and Chaos Diaries with Nicole Grigg. See you later and have a great afternoon. See you next time. Thanks.